Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Laurel Park for yet another week of live action here. Naomi Tucker alongside Keith Fusel, of course, morning line odds maker and top handicapper. Keith, you were mentioning some strong fields coming up again today. Tricky to figure out, but that does provide with the kind of wagering value that we like to see.
Oh, we saw it last weekend as well on Sunday. Followed a great stakes day again on Sunday. Glad for everybody who came out. We had some big prices there, and it just kind of holds form over the course of these racing cards. Very difficult. The racing office has done a great job consistently putting out, stronger fields. They're competitive fields, bigger fields. So it's a challenge, but I like a challenge. I mean, it can grind on you a little bit day in and day out trying to do these morning line odds. Sometimes you'll be made to look a fool, and I'm used to that, so it's no big deal for me. But yeah, I like the challenge, and I think we've got some really good payoffs. That late pick 4 on Sunday. I hope you played along the picks. I mean, we were right there. Every pick that I had there, it pays $13,000. Dummy me, I play an $18 ticket. Don't put in my second choice in one of the races, and there you go. That's the story of my life.
Quite the value there. Let's have a look at the current track conditions. We are racing on the firm turf course and a good main track to get you started here.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of rain in the air. Glad to see we stayed on the grass course again to keep those fields bulked up. It's beautiful, comfortable out here today. 72, love it.
Here we go. 10 races coming your way, so we might as well get going.
Let's go.
First race of the day is claiming 16 to 12,500. Numbers are 2 lifetime. We start with a turf event, 5.5 furlongs the distance there. We key around the same horses, Keith. Both of us like the number 10, Password Protected, as well as the number 11, Always Misbehaving. We'll start with your choice in here for trainer Anthony Ferrier. His run race on the turf thus far was a career best effort. That was at Indiana Grand. We kind of sat away from the pace before closing to get second. Spin campaign going long last time out, so he cuts back in distance and he gets back on the grass, which I think is going to help him.
And I love the name of the horse that beat him that day. Thing. You didn't know Frank Carulli, right?
Nope.
Frank would always, if he could never remember a horse's name, Thing beat Thing.
That was it. That.
Oh, I loved it. Frank was awesome. I mean, it's good stuff. So there's the hunch play.
Okay.
But Thing came back to run pretty good a couple races later in an A other than at Keeneland. So we've got a horse here in Password Protected, switching surfaces, turning back in distance. There is some speed. I think we're going to have a fairly contested pace in here. Has the ability to rally into its second time gelding. There's lots of things to like for Password Protected. I think to make the move somewhere from mid-pack.
Yeah, I like him as well in here. I have him in my exact. I landed on Always Misbehaving for trainer Hassan Alambri. Gets down in class after making a strong move into it last time out on the turf at Pimlico before tiring late. Now, that was his seasonal debut. We say it every single time. It helps sometimes for them to get a bit of a lung opener to then move into that second race of the season.
Yeah, he's never run at Laurel on the turf. So, yeah, this is the turf debut, Laurel turf debut for Always Misbehaving. You're right. And you see that towards the inside of that 9-horse field. Broke a little slow, rushed up into that quick pace. He's a pace factor a long way in here. He may be able to kind of dispose of Billingsgate around the turn. That looks to be maybe his main speed rival, you would think, when looking at things. So
I think Boston Super has some tactical ability as well, but I wouldn't say they're going to go to the front cutting back from that mile. So
yeah, I can't see that. Blinkers maybe try to keep that one a little bit closer to rally into it. But the speed's Always Misbehaving and Billingsgate. They could carry it a ways in the opener.
Yeah, I use Billingsgate underneath just in case he slips away.
Okay.
Race number 2 kickstarts that early pick 4. So this time you are going to play your own selections, right?
I do 90% of the time unless I'm broke. That happens sometimes, but yeah. But
I hope not too often.
But that's the one thing you get with me. I bet my picks. I'm not like some of these people that are up here. They'll give you some selections and don't play. I'm living and dying right along with the fans. So that's the key. If you're going to be up here, you got to be putting some something into the game. So 2, 4, 6 to get you started. 3 deep, 4 deep in race number 3 with the 2, 6, 7, and 8. Lots of ways to go there in the third. Race 4 with the 2, 3, and 4. And maybe Captain Carter right back. Got away at a big price last time. Maybe again today. Race 5 with the 3 and the 8. Blue Collar Boom, a firster, and Filigree Justin Nixon off of some major vacation. But that barn does a good job. Yeah, he does a really good job with his horses. $36, a little bit more than I like to spend, but I think you got to pay a little bit to play in this early pick 4.
Well, we've seen plenty of double-digit prices so far last week. I don't think today is going to be any different. So race number 2, 5.5 furlongs of distance, claiming 16 to 12,500. Almost a 2 a lifetime. We do have a video spotlight on the horse that I ended up using as my price for a Brother Conway. 3 weeks ago, he ran for trainer Kenny Cox at the maiden 10 level. He was making a strong move, circling the field, going a couple of horsepower wide, but I thought he was just visually accelerating to kind of get around those front runners, and that was a big improvement second time out.
Big effort. Yeah, Naomi had a little excuse in debut, a little bumped around. Maybe it just wasn't quite really tied on and threw it off its game. He came back with a big effort against the bias. I mean, June 3rd, June 4th, again, we've reiterated, inside was kind of the trend for the most of the races on that day. Very eager to the line. Look at this horse running through the wire.
That move didn't tire him at all. That was quite a sharp looping affair, but he didn't actually tire. Sometimes you see that, right? Horses making a bit of an accelerating move like that, they just flatten. Wasn't the case?
No, that wasn't the case, and I could certainly have him too high on the line. I struggled with this race, but Muggsy Malone's going to draw a lot of play for Claudio second off the claim and dropping down. Chased a very fast horse in Boss Man JJ at Pimlico. Comes back here, the drop. Appears to be one of the main speeds, if not the main speed in here. Glorious Mahomes, a scratch, Howard Rock shown in the past. Muggsy Malone will try to separate, but I think Brother Conway can save ground and then move up and try to run that rival down.
I think also Brother Conway is the unexposed individual in here that still has that upward going from, especially after really turning things around that second time around. So I'm going to go with the up-and-comer. In comparison to probably indeed Muggsy Malone being the horse to beat in this spot, including Dream Happy, who also goes up against winners for the first time in his career.
Dream Happy, not protected, off of that break, ran big and back in for a tag again. A little pedestrian kind of a workout, a little maintenance work to go into this race. Big number for this kind of level. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that horse. I'm going to use in there a little bit, but looks like he's just kind of up there for the taking.
Yeah, I agree. I do use him underneath, but he seems to be doing quite well, consistently running those mid-60 buyers. That would be good enough to get the job done here if, for example, Muggsy Malone doesn't improve or turn up. Race number 3, back on the turf here, maiden claiming 16 to $12,500. Start with your top selection. Call you right back, making his 15th career start here. But last time on the turf, that was quite a while ago in September 2021, going longer. He took the lead and ran a near career best, so now gets back on the grass, but going to go a bit shorter like he has on the main track in his last couple of outings. Not completely disgraced, but also hasn't really showed that real tenacity that I look for those wanting to win.
No, I agree. This is a little bit of a reach play and a little bit of a price. I think it will fall through the cracks some, but that race produced 3 next out winners, the turf race you're talking about on the go back. It was on a yielding course. This horse held in there pretty well till very late. You can't really pay too much attention to the internals in there, but he's shown a little bit of life back on the dirt here of late, maybe a chance. This is a mad scramble of a race. I thought Jerry's Gem ran respectable 2 races back. They put the blinkers on for that turf debut, a little trouble leaving the turn. Never quite picked it up, though, through the stretch. Had dead aim on the runners. Maybe last time out, 19th, I think they tweaked a few things. A little shadow roll went on against the bias that race and tried. Interesting move back to the turf. We shall see about Jerry Shem. He should be at least forward, right on the lead or stalking it.
Yeah, I have him on top because I did think that there was a bit of significant trouble for him. He was keen. He got bottled up. There was nowhere to go for him on the turn. Really stuck around the entire bend. Basically, Crispin having to just say, wait, we might find the gap here. Then try to fire, but just kind of flatten. We do see that sometimes with these horses that don't have that much experience, that their starts get taken out of them, and then they don't want to try because they're like, hold on, I gave you what I thought I had, and you weren't letting me go. So I think with a cleaner trip here, he's going to do better because already capable of running that 52 buyer on the main track as well.
Yeah, that's true. And his mother was really good on the turf. 2 for 6, 4 for 6, very, very quick. Go run, questionable. Farrier, I'll throw into the mix. Okay, on the synth, the half brother with stakes placed on the turf. Big Daddy DR is, he's trying. He's encountered some troubles. Hasn't had the most comfortable of trips, but willing to the wire. Mosler about 8 or 9% with the turf. The mare was 2 for 4 on the grass, though. So believe in rock and roll. Horse that got bet down. A fool to oldies but goodies. An excuse in debut. So race 3 is a definite spread race for me.
It is definitely wide open, as a couple of other races that we're about to head into. Race number 4, optional claim and starts at allowance mile and an eighth the distance around the 2 turns here. Let's start with the video spotlight on your top choice, the number 3, Captain Cardo for trainer Jose Corrales. We look back at the start, and he's a good breaker. He had a good sort of natural forward break. JD didn't ask him. That was kind of what I saw here. Within himself, on the bit, into the bridle, guiding himself to that forward position. Really lovely holding that inside spot. You can see JD just having a quick peek, like, all right, are we clear? We are. Not taken back, just kind of sliced forward, then gets taken back here to then go around the leader, but just so willing for every move that JD is basically asking him to do.
And you usually think that takes a little bit out of a horse, out of that mile shoot with an inside post to kind of move up inside of horses like he did. He did it well within himself, really wasn't intimidated at all, and got in the breather, shifted out, and went on the attack here, turning for home. Opens up 4 mid-stretch, holds sway under a drive by a couple. Got away just at an awful big price. He won't be 13 to 1 today. I think at a mile and 1/8, yeah, we may be pushing the limits of this guy, but he finishes up pretty well. Uncle Jerome's going to be the speed from the inside. He likes to drift a little bit. Hold that inside position. Maybe he'll slice up the rail and get it done to make it 2 straight here for Corrales. Captain Cardo holding form.
Yeah, no, I use him underneath, but I am going with Uncle Jerome, who seems to be in tip-top shape himself. He won over that mile and 1/8 distance, 2 starts back to break his maiden on surface with some moisture in the ground. We do see we're starting out on a good track. That could play to his advantage. And then he took them all the way last time out. So I love the flexibility. He's clearly doing well. The barn is on fire right now. I think they're hitting at 36% since we've come back to Laurel Park here. So clearly rolling. So I use him on top. And then we both have some interest in Krug as well for trainer Dale Capuano, who looks for another victory again this year. He's got 3 under his belt. Won't get an easy lead, though, like he got last time. I feel like he did get away with some softer splits. Nobody was pressuring him, kind of slipped away from the field. But he's shown in the past, like, he can also take that rating pressing position, which he might have to do here from the outside.
He ran pretty good in that start of 2 races back on a track that had a little moisture in it at Pimlico. He'll be able to drop in. He's not as fast as some of these early. I think Jason Takes Long is a horse that's going to be forcing the issue of Uncle Jerome. And Albertano, here's a horse second off the claim. Yeah, 6 maybe a little too short. Was rolling late. Now we're going to protect, move, and move up. This horse has numbers on to go back. Buried my top selection a few races back on the page. He would not be a surprise, and I still think you're going to get an okay price on that runner.
Yeah, I always thought that he was a bit better going around 2-turn or going a touch longer, perhaps to that second wire as well. So I did like seeing him back here and used him underneath to hopefully create some value as well. Race number 5 is a maiden claiming event, 40 to 32,006 furlongs distance. We want to start with perhaps the stat that you have on one of the runners in here. That is the number 3, Filigree for trainer Justin Nixon.
Yeah, Justin Nixon does very good work. Last 3 years, 4 for 15, 27%, 6 for 15 in the money with horses first time for the tag. That's what we got here. We've got a horse that hasn't been seen since December of 20.
Over a year and a half off.
A 4-year-old now. But with these connections, they've teamed up, done very, very well. This horse, to me, is a little bit better bred for dirt. You're looking at it. Full stakes winner on the dirt, 3 for 4. There's lots of dirt here. Questionable field. In race number 5, you've got a 101 Breeze, a 102 Improve. This horse looks to be doing well. This is the right kind of spot. 40,000. Who's going to reach in for 40? We'll see. Off of this kind of break. This is a little move here that I like. Now, Caramanos was named on the overnight to 3 horses. He goes to the firster.
Yeah.
We're going to end up with Ruiz here. That's fine with me. Maybe experience, albeit a long time ago, might give him a little edge over this firster, Blue Collar Boom.
Yeah, no, I like Filigree. I have him in second. I did land on Quinn Cannon, the number 5. We do have video spotlight him. He massively outran his odds that day. He was a 19 to 1 shot, and they were going quite a strong pace for that first half. He was inside on the rail, lots of outside pressure, was battling for it. You can see here, kind of drops back, right? Starts to tire like you think a 19 to 1 shot does, right? Back up, comes back with another run, comes back and holds sway, like you like to say, for a second.
Yeah, this was a really good effort. Off of a debut where he had some trouble. A little more improved speed and this stamina built up. This was really good. This was impressive, eye-catching to me. So can he bring that race back? So he's 49, 53, another step forward. that kind of number, maybe a high 50, low 60 is going to get it done in here. Again, Susan Cooney's sending out live runner after live runner right now. Let's see, who else you got? You've got the 7
I have
Iron
Iron
a
a Deal, the
okay.
7 as well. My exacta for trainer Michael Trombetta, who seems to be working very, very forwardly at home. I love to see that kind of sharpness there. Stayed with them.
Okay.
Tried to make a move into it, just ever so slightly flattened. They cut him back. Now we know that he's not going to show speed, right? I do not see him on top early, but we do know that if you cut these horses back, sometimes they kind of can start picking up these runners belatedly. I think Iron Deal has a good chance of doing so. Like I said, the works in the morning suggest that maybe they're putting a touch bit more speed into him. And the Trombetta Barnes, second start of their career, just has better stats than with their fastest.
No doubt, absolutely. And this stance is taken bottom side. She was, if I'm not mistaken, turf. Okay, and sprinting on the turf for the most part. Blue Collar Boom, a firster here for Damon and Stormy Stable. Couple sharp works, it looks like, coming into this. Overanalyzed the Stallion 14% first time out. This one's a half to Why Not Tonight, who won the All Brandy Stakes.
Yeah.
There's some definite turf, but some, run well early in the family. I think both foals, both siblings did hit the board first time out.
Yeah, Why Not Tonight, first ever stakes winner retainer Jesse Cruiser as well. We'll get to that during Lightning Round. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the back section of the card.
Top by 3, by 4, and moving away.
Welcome back to Laurel Park. We're on race number 6 of 10. Back on the turf here. Mile and 1/8 the distance on the grass. Optional claimer starter allowance. We have video spotlight on one of the runners in here that we both use underneath. Samwise Sunset coming in here first off the claim for Rudy Sanchez Solomon. That race is where he got claimed out of. He just sat handily all the way before starting to really gear up on the home turn. Was just in hand, striding up there. Had to switch out, though, to get a chance at a clean early run. I did think that when you're looking at Ruiz coming up, you see him there gearing up on the outside, right?
Yeah.
Confident. Look, now pulls him out.
Yeah.
Now starts asking him. Just kind of goes, no, we got enough. Look at that. Doo-doo-doo.
For a Tim Woolley horse, he doesn't run a slew of horses and a lot of turf, but I mean, they usually don't get bet like this. This horse was pounded down on the drop. At no point, he went up to him at the half-mile pole behind horses, in hand, well in hand, let him go again. I don't care. Just drafted right up to him again at the 316, shifted out and went on with it. You saw he won with something left in reserve, and Rudy Sanchez Solomon swooped in and claimed this guy. We've seen this trainer move horses up. So, yeah, in form, into a barn that can move a horse up. Yeah, why not throw this horse into the mix at a price?
Yeah, I did too. I used him underneath, but both you and I land on Sonic Speed for trainer Brittany Russell. Is going to be the second start for her barn. First time going on the turf here at Laurel Park, so seasonal debut, but he's kept the right kind of company up in New York. 2 starts ago at Aqueduct, and then tried to kind of make a move into it. Ends up going very, very wide there at Belmont Park. Just flattens out ever so slightly, but does find the right kind here to go up against.
Yeah, and I think you expect the stalking trip. The detriment there was the 10 post. Big field, gaudy field. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, we've got some scratches. Some of these horses are re-entered, so you've got a shorter field. Won't have to really be hung out that wide today.
No, it's going to jump from gate 3, I believe, by the looks of it.
Should kind of be the stalker in here. Maybe Rising Perry will go ahead and do some chasing, but they've got to catch Wicked Prankster. Wicked Prankster walked the dog last time out. You see the short comment, set down upper. So wasn't even really asked till about the 3/16. If he's allowed to kind of go loose on the lead and comfortable, he can hold enough left in the tank to finish the last 3/16.
Well, it looks like he might just be that lone speed danger. At least the number 3 is Scratch, was possibly going to give him something to think about, at least early. Yeah. Not there now. So, yeah, I agree with you. I have the number 10 Wicked Prankster in my exacta because, look, you got Johan Rosado, who does very well riding horses on the lead, just timing it to perfection here. He probably doesn't even have to do that much to get to the front. No. And then you'll see plenty of, obviously, turf horses in general. You do tend to see that they like to just sit a little bit further back. That's the kind of running style they like to employ. We see that quite frequently. But when you have a race that's devoid of any speed, That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah, the connections are loving what they're seeing right now, with the way this race is going to set up. But you got, what, a second off the claim, Brittany Russell. This horse, second or third, this horse should make another step. A little relief here this afternoon. That was a good, that running line is, but I mean, the fig works. Tough trip. You'll see this horse back on its game for Russell.
Race number 7 is a maiden claiming event, $10,000 to $8,000. 5.5 furlongs, that minimum sprinting distance. Both you and I look towards the outside. Bit of speed there from Pop Susie. Claudio Gonzalez drops him back down. Aggressive kind of drop again. The lowest level he's ever been running at in his entire career. Showed an abundance of speed on both last occasions, but tends to get caught after someone gives him a little bit of early pressure. Now, do we see another pace battle evolve here, or do you think he's just going to clear over?
I think he better hope he can clear. I mean, this is a quick drop right down to 10, so they're maybe not completely in love with this guy. Slow Gin Biz comes in off of 4.5 at Charlestown, could maybe force that issue. Pop Up Susie, if he separates mid-turn, he's probably gone in here. We'll have to worry about Mr. Mosley. Pan for Gold's just kind of a shot horse for me. I'm throwing in here. Beaten 79.25, hopelessly outrun, but the jock stays, right? Rosado stays on this horse.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit of a tell to me. Workouts were okay leading up to that on the dirt. There's just a little shot at a price.
Well, completely different running conditions, going short and on the main track here. It's kind of nearly a first-time starter. Anything could happen there in comparison to going long on the turf on debut. I put in the number 5 Bowie two-step as well. I think he's going to get that kind of stalking trip. Has shown he can run with these types over this distance, and he's going to hang around for a price like he's done plenty of times in the past.
Yeah, I mean, he's made a move into Pop-Up Susie. That was pre-Claudio for Pop-Up Susie. See if he can do it again. That wasn't a terrible try for the nickel, and maybe kind of a step sideways when you really look at the rest of the field. Sans, Pop Susie in here, maybe Mr. Mosley. I don't know what happened last time. I expected a better run. 4 wide, against the grain there. I guess so I guess you can use that as a little bit of an excuse for Mr. Mosley.
I expected better from him on the day as well. Let's see if he gets back into form here for us. Boyce gets back on, and she's been moderately successful with him, running a second over 6 furlong. What was that? The early part of this year. So she reunites. So that might just work out here. Race number 8. It's a $5,000 starter allowance condition race, 6 furlongs distance, and the Wolfman is your pick in this spot. Let's look back at I think it was 2 starts ago that we're looking back at here, and he had a slight steady. He was kind of behind the pace there, wanted to make move into it, kind of had to move around horses a little bit.
Yeah, and a little bit of close. And there you see Rockefellers, who kind of put him in a little tight and went on by, but he's going to kind of come back and get the better of that rival, makes that challenge. But Pictor, who ran really big this day, I didn't see that coming after slow break, and this horse just kind of rolled on past from the outside. But the Wolfman, he's, there's a horse they claim for a nickel 3 in life, didn't embarrass himself, in the Not for Love Stakes. He's holding pretty good for him. Back quickly off the try on the turf the other day. Rockefellers may have a little edge over him in early speed, but I think he's might be a little bit better on a wet track, Rockefellers. So we'll see. The Wolfman, these two will kind of go out in battle. Let's see how far they can take it.
Yeah, it seems like Rockefeller's has done some better running on track for moist turning, so we'll see what the conditions are when we arrive at race number 8 later today. I landed on Mutacamo just because of the fact that it seems like there's plenty of speed here to set it up for a runner like him. He likes to kind of make a move into it. One last time out of Delaware, comes in here for Kieran McGee. Of course, Kieran McGee does do well with his shippers, and then 3 starts back over 5.5 furlong. Also a track with moisture in the ground, was able to apply that same trick. So for him, probably he's just going to spy that speed, see what's going on in front of him, and then try and snatch them before the wire.
Absolutely. Ella's my love. I don't know what happened. This horse that was pretty good form on the go back attempt, had a little bit more speed. Going to need that to stay in touch, turning for home.
I'd say so. Race number 9, optional claim and starter allowance, 6 furlongs the distance here. We're in agreement here. Keith, we got the same exact play. Doesn't happen all the time. Look, Straw Smoking, I made him my single on the late pick 4, and then I'll put up later on as well. He is 5 wins, 5 seconds, and 5/3 over the distance here. He clearly absolutely relishes it. He looks like he's going to be the lone speed. Brittany Russell has campaigned him patiently. He is a 7-year-old. She said it before, he's just a horse that thrives on that kind of freshness, and that's what we see with him, and that's what we do here, because obviously 3rd start now with the barn, I believe. But this seems to be his ammo to keep him fresh, to keep him happy, to keep him ticking over. I think he's just much the best.
Yeah, he really ran big 2 races back. back to, he was gunned out of the gate, had to rush up and got the lead held clear. He might take some pressure from Algebraic, but Algebraic barn change here to David Howard. But Stroll Smoke is a horse in the past. He's shown the ability to handle a little pressure. He doesn't mind being inside, taking the heat, and just kicking away. That's what he'll try to do. Let's look for somebody from off the pace. Sanchez Salamon's got 2 in here. Jimmy the Kid asking for a Baskin. Who do you like a little bit better? Asking for a Baskin's a little bit more proven, I would think. Good price, 2 races back. Loved it at a big number. I didn't like him at the mile. I think he and Jimmy the Kid will be able to kind of sit back, try to drop in, save some ground, and rally into this pace.
I agree. I used asking for Basking as a slight nod over his stablemate just because he got some figures on the go back, and like you said, seems a touch better going this distance. I did use Imperial King underneath because the only question mark with him was, of course, huge figure last time out, but then you go back and you see he's run that kind of figure on the all-weather before. The only thing is he seems to run best when he's sort of in a forward position. I'm not sure he's going to be fast enough to take the lead in here, and that seems to be his favorite thing to do, but I had a bit of a saver on him underneath. Just in case he gets that kind of close stalking position and then moves.
Himself a pretty good career so far, right? 6 for 19.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that kind of horse.
Pretty reliable. Final ways on the card is race number 10, maiden claiming 16 to 12,500, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Seems appropriate that we finish things off with another turf event here. Keith, you landed on Storm Trap for Ollie Figgins, stretching out to the 5.5 from sprinting 4.5 at Charleston, a tight ring there. Going onto the turf as well. Wonder if he's really going to like that. Seemed to flatten out a little bit belatedly. How do you see it unfold for him here?
Yeah, I think he's going to have to be forward. Glastonbury to the outside, I think will show some speed. I don't know what happened last time, but Storm Trap, the drop down here, Figgins has done okay in the past. You know, year in and year out, bringing some turf runners in. Look at the breeding here. I've got, where is it? Oh, second him, a Group 2 winner. You go back, there's turf all throughout this family. I think this horse is going to go right towards the front, sit if necessary off Glastonbury, but more relaxed flow here, I would think, off of that 4.5 at Charlestown. And the turf breeding suggests, hey, we'll go ahead, we'll take, and we might move up here on the drop. Throw the 2 in there as a bomb, too. By imagining, call me a dreamer. Lady in Her Mind, 4 for 15, 9 for 15 in the money on the turf. This first time gelding.
Yep.
Half sister, 5 for 15, made 300,000. You remember that horse, right? I'm Betty G. I think multiple stakes winner. There's a little bit of a price shot. 12 to 1 on morning line might escape. We had Tim Vick over at Pimlico with a big price.
I threw a Call Me Dreamer in as well. I landed on Hindenburg, though, for Milan Milosevic. Kevin Gomez remains on board. Really tried to run with them last time out, going longer on the turf. But they weren't holding back. 47 and change for the half that day for that level. It was pretty zippy, according to my figures anyway. But doesn't seem to finish off his race as well. So I like the steep cut back here to 5.5. It means he's going to have to run faster from the get-go. But it is an angle that I like to use when horses show that they have a bit of speedy ability. Not really there late. Cut them back and see if that works for them.
Yeah, he hasn't terribly embarrassed himself on the turf, right? Shows a work prior to his last, a little bit of speed. So might be able to keep him in range before going by. The last is another toss-up kind of a field here at Laurel today.
Yeah, competitive fields galore here. 10 races coming your way. As we're going to finish it off strongly with lightning round as well. Of course, we wanted to keep you updated of the jockey and trainer standings. No real changes there, as J.R. Barbosa still reigns and clearly enjoys the track that he's had so much success over by winning some more.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to kind of go a little bit maybe as Claudio goes, but some other trainers are reaching out and putting on some live horses. So taking advantage of the apprenticeship here. Toledo, steady as she comes. So, yeah, these guys are going to be around. Barbosa a little bit of edge right now, definitely moving forward.
Yeah, and for standings, of course, Claudio Gonzalez with J.R. Barbosa, they team up quite frequently. Claudio Gonzalez continuing to hit very strong. Like I said, I think he's right now hitting at a strike rate of about 36% ratio, which is very, very high.
We'll change the scenery. Did the old Gonzalez barn some good, huh?
Well, running from their stall, right? That helps too.
I guess. But you got all capable guys here. I mean, we've got a long list of trainers. Then any event, trying to get into the game, looking to kind of dive in, maybe just get a little syndicate group together, come down to the paddock, talk to a few of these guys, ladies. I mean, they'll definitely help you out, point you in the right direction. But a lot of capable trainers here on this circuit.
Absolutely. And of course, we do want to revisit some of the stakes action that we had here on Father's Day last Sunday. Nick Papa Giorgio was able to get the win in the fine stakes. Now, last year he went up against the same runner that ended up finishing second here, some kind of magician. He was able to turn the table on that foe.
Lots of tears shed in the press box. Look at audacious quality. Into the far turn, all kinds of traffic. Take nothing away. Nick Papa Giorgio, come out, got him in great position, shifted out, and these horses are going to run against each other time and time again. Some rivalries have developed, but man, that was our key play there, audacious quality.
Yeah, that was a good race, and definitely seemed like it was anyone's game at the top of the lane. And that's how you want these turf races to go. The other turf stakes, of course, they were all turf stakes. The Stormy Blues was open to outside runners, and well, we did see Hall of Famer Bill Mott bring Poppy Flower over, who was able to get the job done here against some very strong other opponents, including Darien as well as Artos. But Poppy Flower was much the best late.
How was this horse 10-1? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. I think I lined her 4. She'd already beaten.
I feel like she slipped under the radar. There was some money coming in on Visby as well for Justin Nixon.
Yeah. She had already beaten the favorite on the square at 2. She was getting Lasix, first time Lasix on the turf. Had that prep on the dirt. They kept that horse in on the main track. I was just shocked at the price. Hopefully, the people kind of caught wind of that and made a little bit of money.
Absolutely.
I know Jack Harmon did. The hammer
I did
upstairs.
too, actually.
Yeah.
I had some fun in that race.
That was
a good race. Yeah, that's the one I texted you about. Last stakes race that we had on the day was the old Brandy here, Mountain 16 on the turf. And this is quite a special way of finishing off a day full of action with Why Not Tonight giving trainer Jesse Cruz his first ever stakes win as a conditioner, something that meant the world to him. I could see the emotion. I was also able to speak with him, catch up with him afterwards, and it was just a culmination of years of hard work. Yeah,
just dog it to the wire, just kept grinding and grinding. Ken the Queen slipped away from her a little bit, right? Mid-turn, I said, okay, and then she went clear again. Why Not Tonight? No give up whatsoever. Really watched her through the wire, kept on well. Another one took early play. One of our video spotlights right off of that horror trip
so
she
much
had
trouble at
prior.
Pimlico.
So hopefully whoever better, in the race prior came back and got the 7-1 the other day on Sunday.
I think there were 4 different moments in that race that she had to steady move around, or at least
that was
3.
It was
just
go.
one after another, and this time around got a perfect position, clear trip. She showed what she's made of. Now, Keith, as for betting today, we've got plenty of opportunities. Where are you going for your best bet?
Well, right there, probably Wolfman. And best bets, I like to have something, get a little bit of price, maybe not. Maybe we'll get 8-5, 9-5. I like giving horses that are 3, 4-1. But the Wolfman, he's steady. Yeah, as steady as he goes right now. He's held his form at this level. He's got pretty good speed. He's tactical. I think he just stays the trip.
Yeah, I like that. Now, I went with, what was it? My best bet is Jerry's Gem, actually, race number 3, based on some of the trouble that we saw that individual had last time out. I think he can do much better here. I mentioned how he was bottled up and keen around that bench. He didn't get the chance to run. I think when he's going to get a clean trip, he can actually move into it. So how about a value play?
Value play. That's going to be Brother Conway, right? And the second,
same
is that
one
you're
for
saying?
Me, yeah.
Okay, well, let's hope. And I think I might have him lined too high. I still want to take it. I hope I get at least 9-2 or 5 on him. But again, the way he kind of bucked the bias, second time out, finished through the wire, looked really good doing it. He'll have some speed to chase, but I think he'll get that ground-saving trip that he needs to maybe put him over the top.
Okay, unexposed individual making his 3rd career start and really turn things around last time out. That will do it for the morning show, but I'll be back shortly with Calais Francois to talk you through this afternoon's races, as we'll send it upstairs to Dave Rodman with scratches and changes.
All right, good luck.